And welcome to the Hired Gun Podcast with your host, the Hired Gun. First, like, subscribe, share. How y'all doing, y'all? So, we had a fun pay-per-view yesterday. Alright? We had a fun pay-per-view. Now, I kind of know why they didn't add an extra match to this card. Because even though WWE is keen when it comes to shares. I mean, like, money for them. Because I told y'all yesterday or the day before that the E makes more money than UFC. But, so, since Endeavor has owned UFC first, and they in cahoots with the fucking White House, they put two shows on the same day. Backlash is this came on at 6 o'clock, and then it led into UFC Fight Night. Alright, and they didn't want that to collide with UFC last night. Alright, so, that's why we got a pay-per-view at 6 o'clock. We got a pay-per-view at 6, and we got 5 matches. That's why. That's why nothing else got added. Now, like I said, there was pretty much nothing bad on this show. Would I have rather seen other stuff on this show? Yes. I mean, the Danhausen match wasn't bad. It wasn't bad. It wasn't what I was expecting, but it wasn't bad. But this thing has to be on the pay-per-view. It didn't. It did. Like, now, that's not saying I didn't like it, because it is what it is for that. And I understand why. I understand why they're showcasing Dan Henry, because he's making money when it comes to merch, and he's mad over now. I've seen more Danhausen matches in the E than I ever seen in AEW. All right. In the tag team partner, the little guy. That's what I'm gonna say. Cause I'm not gonna say the other word, the M word. But it is what it is. It was a fun match. It was a fun match. Like now, could I have done without it? Yes, because this is coming off of the whole gingerbread funeral that was on SmackDown. That was for the whole fucking show. The whole 3 hours. That statement was for the whole 3 hours. So it's coming out for that, and sprinkling Danhausen on that too, and everything. This should have been on SmackDown. Like it could have, and then I could have got Jade versus Rhea out of the way. I could have did Ruka versus Bailey. I could have got anything else besides this match on that card. But again, fun card. Let me get into this stuff in Ron Breaker thing, because I said that Seth was gonna win, and he lost, right? And it was a good match, a real good match. He got So the Gunther versus Seth match was better, okay? Despite some people saying that Seth carried that match, which is a lie. But when Braun Breaker and Seth fight, they going at it, and it was a good match, and it's both of them. At no point is Braun Breaker a better worker than Gunther. It's just not true. It's not true. But good match. Now listen. When I say this, I gotta remember something, man. All right. I came on here this week or last week I told y'all that Seth Rollins in the E is the best performer, in ring performer there. And I'm standing by that. I'm standing by that, right? He did a couple mess ups last night. I can count three of them. When the hunter, when he was supposed to land on his feet from the hair, the Steiner recliner move, right? And he landed. He didn't land right. That was one. When he was supposed to do a reverse move and he landed on his head instead, that was two. Okay, and then one time when he tried to do a pedigree, that was three. I so listen. There was no mess ups with the Gunther and Seth match. All right, and then Seth had to come out on the pre-show and kind of defend himself on what happened in that match because he wasn't happy how that match went. That was more him than in character. Him. I know he played it off like that, but no, it was more him saying my bad, because once you got to start a conversation of how things should go in my head and how it plays out, you talking about your performance then, you know. It was still a good match. It was. Now, me, like if it was E-Feds and we were still doing the pitch system, I would have lost. Like I would have lost because of the fact that uh, Self lost. I picked Self, and Self lost, right? And then I picked Sammy too. Sammy lost, so I would have been done. You know, Sammy. I think they just want to move on from Sammy, all right? And we should be getting what we want next because the fans were very vocal, very vocal about who they wanted to see. It was Mello. Like we got Mello chance at the pre-show, and we got Mello chance when Trick was at the after show. All right. Both Mello chance, and there's so much that Trick even brought up Mello. And let me be clear about something about the celebrities. I am very impressed with uh, Little Gotti. I am. He's taking bumps. Pause. Alright, and he's selling, and he's a part of the show, and I'm not mad about it. Like I'm not like he's slowly becoming a wrestler, somewhat. Cause that's twice he's taking her little kid from Sammy. Twice. That's twice he's taking punishment from Sammy. So I'm not mad at it. I'm not uh but the Sammy thing, where does he go from here? And Friday when he was beating up Trick, he quoted Roman, which I'm gonna get into Roman in a little while. He quoted Roman. Uh, um, and yeah, he quoted Roman, and he said something Roman said. I can't go word for word, but he said it. He said it on Friday when he was beating him up. Um, you know, and that's a goose egg. That's a goose egg for that. So there's rumors. So the Oscar and Io match was a great match. I enjoyed it. Now they knew going in with this match that they were going to get some Harry Sane chance, and they did. Like they did, it did in the beginning, the middle, and that was it. But it was there. It was there. It was a good match. This match got more time than the main event match. the main event did. And then after the match, I mean the right person won, but after the match, it looked like a farewell. It looked like Oscar was saying goodbye. Now, and you know, Oscar was very, very emotional in this match. After this match, and at first we thought there was gonna be all this emotional stuff, and then Oscar was gonna turn, but it didn't happen. And then it raised questions of did she just retire? Did she retire? Stuff like that, right? Right? And then um, last night they were saying that Oscar semi-retired. Or Dave said it. Dave Myers. Right? Now listen, I'm not like everybody else when he quotes stuff or he says stuff. Oh, you know, like it's from him. It's from him. So it could, you know, it could be a lie. It could be a lie, right? Or you know, it could be fake. You know, listen, I'm not that person. You know, Dave's more right than he's wrong about stuff. I'd rather listen to him than listen to Jonathan Coachman or Vin Juso, who are just throwing shit at the wall and seeing what stick, right? Right. So like, and then Body Slam came out and said that Oscar's out indefinitely for personal reasons, and then that was it. So Oscar's young. Like whether you want to believe Dave or Body Slam, Oscar's done right now, indefinitely out indefinitely, right? Personal reasons. So you know, semi-retired. All right. So either or, she's done right now. All right, and you know, and then you go on Twitter, and people are saying goodbyes, and they were saying the Oscar was saying her goodbyes last night backstage. So, and for me, I love Oscar. In ring, her character, everything about her. Okay, she's definitely one of my top three in women of wrestling. Definitely is. Came in like a beast. You know, came back from her ACL injury, and you know, yeah, her thing still. But we'll see what happens with that. I'm not sure if she's gone completely, but it sounds like. And now you know, we're really getting to an age that we're seeing our wrestlers retire now, and that's crazy to say. AJ, Cena, Brock Lesnar, Oscar, Goldberg, man, whatever about him, but still, Goldberg, Sting, Kurt Angle, Big E, like we're really seeing our wrestlers retire right in front of us. You know, that's crazy. You know, that's something that's something you don't. I mean, that's something that like I wasn't expecting to talk about like that, but it's true. It's true. Speaking of John Cena, so he came out with his surprise of when he was there. First of all, Cena lives in Tampa, so it wasn't hard to get him there, you know. But he lives in Tampa, so and everybody thought it was gonna be the WWE club thing that he's been promoting, but it wasn't that. It wasn't that. It was a classic John Cena tournament for every year. NXT versus uh, the main roster, right? Now, and the fans need to vote and see who they want to fight and everything and all that stuff. And it's up to the fans. And it sounds like it wasn't all it wasn't all put together yet. That's why I wasn't a date for it yet. But um, if this was said before his retirement match, that they was going this route, I would have been more cool with it. You know, I'm still cool with it, but I would have seen more reason about it. You know, I would have seen because the reason I say that is because NST has been plucked a couple times since then, and like of talent, especially the men talent, which was already uh, hurting before that. You know, because the women's division was the best division in NXT. Right, and the women's division still has uh, like the women's division is still king in NXT when it comes to both divisions here. All right, there's the women's, there's the men's, and there's the tag team division. All right, right, and the women and the women's division runs all of that shit, and that's the truth. It is, right? You know, because even when Ova and Trick was there, and Javon Evans was there, you know, the women's division still ran the division, you know, but now that's gone, right? And then after that, Trick, Trick. So after they plucked Trick and they plucked Overfemi and they plucked Javon Evans, right? They went back after Mania and they plucked two more people. They plucked Ethan Page and they plucked um, Ricky Singh, right? So now all we got now is Tony D, and that's it for the men's division right now. And anybody else is new. Like anybody else is coming get called up from the other development system right now. That's been there, right? Right. So there's that, and then the women's division, even though that's been plucked too, you still have people there. You got little advice. You got Jada Parker still. You have um Carmelo Hayes' fiance who's there. You got who else? Who else do we have here? Izzy. And you got a North American champion. Like there's still talent in the women's division, and then they just signed other the women's talent. Did they sign guy talent? Yes, they did, but they green or not even green. Some of them are green still, and some of them we don't know them yet, and we got to see where they go with that, right? Right. So and then like I said, the John Cena Classic is still not all already yet. So maybe they change some stuff around and they fit some things around. But and then maybe by then some of the NXT talent can be uh more there, like more there, than what it is now. Um, but we'll see, we'll see. So let me get you this not John Cena, this Roman Reigns and Jacob match from last night. So good match, very very good match. Now we knew Roman would win, so Roman won. Now before this match happened, Josh came in the chat and said that did we think um did we think uh Roman would win clean or non clean or interference or stuff like that. And I said that Roman wasn't winning clean, which he didn't win clean. Like he didn't. Despite what my best friend Ryan says, no. He didn't win clean. He didn't. He didn't. And saying that, let me say this: I don't care. I don't care. He won. He won, but he didn't win clean. All right, and we're gonna get a part two of this. Like we are. We are. It's gonna happen. It has to happen because after Roman won, Jacob beat his ass. Right? Like Jacob didn't kneel or acknowledge Roman. Nah, nah. Jacob realized what the fuck happened, and he beat the shit out of him, and he went unhinged again. Right? Right? And then notice now. Now I want you to I want you to really understand what happened last night. All right? The Usos didn't help in the match or after the match. They did not help him at all. Now, let's say we forget about the Usos not helping him on Raw. Anytime Jacob put hands on him, right? Not being that, even though they have been in the fucking building the whole time, right? Right? Let's say we forget about that, right? Let's say that like we can understand that, right? Right? All right. Yeah. So then let's even say that they didn't do anything uh, during the match last night, right? Let's say let's understand that because Jacob said if they tried to help, he would burn the whole uh, tree down, family tree down, right? Which she's still gonna do, but it, let's say okay, all right. But after the match, when Jacob went crazy again, right? And I'm not even saying he went heel because he didn't go heel either last night either, right? Like let's say like he put hands on Roman again, okay? He put hands on Roman again, and there was no Usos, none, not a peep, not a word, nothing, nothing. Didn't even try. Right? Right? Nothing. Nah. Listen. Ryan's up here saying that they want Roman to win clean, which he didn't win clean. He didn't. Right? And they want Roman to, Roman's been saying he got to do shit on his own for a minute now. Right? But this is before he told his cousins, I miss this. I miss us. I miss us running stuff. Because, he wanted them to have his back. And they haven't had his back. Like, they haven't had his back at all. And now, mind you, we can say, oh, but on SmackDown when Roman's not there, yeah, okay, yeah. You know what that is? That's the kill time for Roman not being there. Right? Right? And then Jacob hasn't been Jacob hasn't touched them. Right? He hasn't put hands on them like he's put hands on Roman. Okay? Like he hasn't like he's put hands on a couple people, right? Right? The MFTs when they was full at full strength, he put hands on them. Right? He put hands on the MFTs the second week, right? He put hands on Roman last night. He put hands on Roman last Monday. He put hands on Roman the other Monday, right? You know who he hasn't touched at all? I put hands on it all, or go hinge with any or anything. The Usos. That shit needs to be talked about. I do see the Usos joining Jacob eventually. I do. You know who else I see joining Jacob? Royce Cheese. It's just gonna happen. It's just definitely gonna happen. Like Royce Cheese was gonna join Jacob, and maybe the Usos don't, right? And maybe that's who they fight, right? But it needs to be talked about that the Usos has not helped this nigga not one bit. Not once. Since he's been champion, they haven't helped him at all. Right? Now maybe they do something in Italy, right? Right? And they help him win. But as far as right now, they haven't touched him. Not one finger. But it was a good match. Good pay per view. Fun pay per view. Was it elite? No. Was it great? No. It was a good pay per view. I like this better than I like WrestleMania Part One. I mean Night One. But again, the next pay per view we need more matches, and it's just being real, like we do. At least six. I won't say seven, but six. Now, and I get why it didn't happen because of the fact that they didn't want eyes being taken away from the UFC. They just didn't. So okay, all right. But good show, real good. I mean, good show, real good show. Like, there's nothing on that card I didn't like nothing, nothing. But I do feel like there should have been one more match. We could replace some of these ads and dead time with another match. But again, I understand. For this pay per view, I get it. I get it. I really really do. So for sure, we're getting Gunther versus Cody, and we're getting versus um, Roman versus Jacob. After that, who knows? Who knows? But I did enjoy the pay per view. Um, they didn't write Roman off yet because he talked at the pre-show. I mean the after show. He did talk, and he said that Jacob was done, which we all know he's not. Not. Where does he go from here? Because he put hands on Adam Pierce last night. He put hands on um, um, some of the security, like what's his name? The Hurricane. Like he put hands on him. He put hands on the referee. So he went unhinged last night. All right. So he's probably gonna get suspended. But then again, if he gets suspended, that don't mean shit because all that means is he can still put hands on Roman like it ain't shit after that. And then Roman's gonna want to fight him again, right? Right. So but I like the storyline. Right? Because again, we knew Roman was winning. Nah, here's where I ask the question: if we know Roman's gonna be off for a month or two, give the belt to Jacob. And then when Roman comes back and they fight again, just put the belt back on Roman then. Like, Jacob doesn't have to have a long title run. Like, he don't. He don't. Yeah, like, he didn't have a long United States run, a title run. Like, he didn't. So he doesn't need to have a long World Heavyweight Champion run. Just give him the belt to buy time for Roman to come back. Right? And then they have another match. The rubber match, and uh, you can put the belt back on Roman, right? And then you let him ride this out to the summer until you lose the over, right? I can see that happening, but I'm going to end the show with that. Make sure y'all like, subscribe, share. Make sure y'all watch wrestling. Make sure y'all watch E-Feds. This is the Hired Gun podcast with the Hired Gun. God bless. Love y'all. I'm out.